Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I'm here today to show you my new Digi, and we'll play and make another Hinge journal. So this is called Spillin Tea, and so it's obviously like sort of tea oriented. So this is a watercolor that I did and cut it out and put it on there, and then this is just an old image from New York Public Library. I'm going to see if it helps if I turn this other light on. I don't know if it'll make it better or worse. Let me see. Well, it's a little really bright for a minute, but I think that's a little bit better. At least you can see a little better. And then I did collages, you know, with all tea-dyed paper, like with cup rings and some stamping and just fun stuff. And then there's like an old 1920s magazine newspaper type thing that I have behind here. It's a little bit like my torn paper and ferns as far as just grungy, messy, haphazard, you know, the paper in the background. It's not all straight and everything. It's just kind of fun and hopefully useful. So there's another one of my teacups, some vintage lace, a picture of a couple little girls having a tea party, chatting with each other, spilling tea, right? So it would look like this, and then that on that side. So there's quite a bit of journaling space on these. I didn't make the ones that I decorated super fancy because I figured, you know, you can add stuff to them or do whatever you want. So here's a couple of ladies. They've got funny looks on their face. I don't know, they just made me think they were telling secrets or something. And then a couple of little ladies in a teacup with the collaged background. And then some Victorian ladies at tea time, all chatting. There's another one of my teacups, Spillin Tea. And then this one I printed on cardstock, just so you can see, and it's just a lightweight cardstock, and it's white, obviously. So there's one of my watercolors, and then this couple down here chatting over tea. And then this one is just some lace and trim. I think that's actually the back of that trim, but I just really liked the way it was. But so you can cut those out or tear them or do whatever. And then these are all, you know, groupings of my watercolors that I did. So I drew all these, and I'll show you because we did the transparency thing again. So when I run them through my printer, if you haven't heard this before, some of you probably have, but I know I've got quite a few new people, and welcome. And so I just put a tiny bit of glue just right up at the top. I put the transparency paper down on it and then run it through my printer because my printer won't take the transparency paper by itself. So I don't know, you know, everybody's printer is different. I have an Epson Eco Tank. I like that because it holds the most ink. So yeah, so you'll get 3 of the transparency ones, and you know, the images are different, or the way they're laid out is different, because there's a couple things like this, you know, is the same one as that one, but this one has it with the tea bags and a different teacup. So you can use these however you want. That's that one. And then this one I didn't print on transparency paper, I printed it on scrapbook paper, so you could see that it's one of these transparency pages. It's just been printed on top of the scrapbook paper, so it keeps the scrapbook paper color, but it just, you know, adds a little something else to it. If you have some scrapbook papers that are a little more plain and you want something added, these are kind of fun. So there's those. You get 3 of those, and you get 3 of the ones, it's the same images of the teacups and all that, but they're on the tea-dyed background. So these might be better for pages in your journal and that. And you can print these on the transparency paper as well. It's just you will get that tea background, and the other ones don't have a background. And that was my smart son that figured that out and thought we should have it in the Digis. Okay, so you get 3 of that, and then you get 5 of the just the collage pages without any extra tea images on them. So you can use these to back or make tags or, you know, whatever. Oh, I printed that one out twice somehow. I have it on thick paper, that's why, because I was going to use that for something. So there's that one. There's this one. this one. And you can orient this one either way. Like when we did it, when we put the images on it, we used this as the bottom because, you know, we ended up covering this. But I mean, the wording on the newspaper underneath and this 1920 right here are oriented this way, but it doesn't really matter. They can go either direction, especially if you're using them in collage and whatever. That one. So you'll get 5 of those. And then you'll get 2 of the tag and journaling card pages, and they're different. So they're just all collaged up tags, and there's 2 large journaling cards. This tag is larger than these 3 tags. These 3 are the same size. This one's a little bit larger. And when you print it, you might want to do a shrink to fit or have the border on there, because see, I did borderless and it came all the way to the edge. So I mean, I'm not going to lose much of anything, but anyway, that's just a tip. And then you'll get a page of ephemera, just, you know, ladies at tea and like a magazine cover and a couple of kitty cats, tea for 2. So yeah, just a fun kit, and it's 20 pages total. So those are all of them. So I am going to cut out the tags in here, and then I will come right back and we will get started on the tag Hinge journal that I wanted to do. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got all these cut out, all the ephemera and the tags and journaling cards. And then I also have some other journaling cards, or sorry, journaling cards, pieces of ephemera, like coffee stained alteration tag, time card, one of these envelopes from Target that I cut the center out of. And what I had, yeah, a couple more little things. My glue book. And then I have one of these library cards with the printer track holes, and then a little Glassine bag. So I thought we could make a fun little journal with that stuff the same way that we did the Hinge journal. And what did I do with my ink? Oh my word. It should be right here. Oh, it's right here. I have a mess. Again, my desk is getting thrashed. I need to just get it all cleaned off. But anyways, all right, so I thought what we could do, I may use these or I may not. I have to figure out if they just might be too wide. They might be kind of fun though. But I backed all these with the same paper from the Spillin Tea Digi. So I'm trying to think if I want it. Be the back. I could put one on the back and one on the front. That would be kind of good, and then put all the tags and things in between. And like maybe one of these and another one of these, and just kind of stagger it. This and then this and this. This one is going to hook on like that. Bless you. And this, I haven't done one of these before, can you tell? This is all just a winging it thing. I just had so much fun doing that Hinge journal that I wanted to do another one, and I thought this might be kind of fun and grungy. I still don't know if those are, I think those are going to stick out too far. I could turn them into tags. That way, you know, it wouldn't matter. That's what I think I might do. Because I like the quantity here. I just am not crazy about how far these are going to stick away from these other ones. So I think I'm just going to take a little bit off of each one. I could make them more like, you know, skinnier journaling card or something. Let me see. How wide is this one? It's about 3 3/4. Or, I mean, sorry, not 3 3/4, almost 3 1/2. So let's go, I'll take this one to 3 3/4. So it will still be a little bit wider, but not sticking out quite so far, and then we'll just round the corners again. So yeah, just think of different ways to use some of this stuff, because you don't have to, just because I have it as a journaling card, you don't have to keep it as a journaling card. You could turn it into a tag. I think I'm going to leave that about like that. I'm going to do the same with this one. And I know you can't see when I'm cutting, but I'm just cutting that edge off. So this will just be kind of grungy, fun. All right, I might keep that piece. And I've printed all the tags and stuff on that lightweight cardstock, so they're, you know, they have a little more body. They're not just on copy paper, so they're not hopefully gonna, you know, fall apart or anything. And then I thought this might be fun just on one of these, so that it can be used as a pocket. All right, so what I thought we could do is hinge them together using tickets from Artymaze. And I'm going to use my mat here and kind of line these up, because I kind of want things to be as straight as possible. And I'm just going to have that line in between there, maybe a tiny bit more, just so that it opens and closes. But I don't want a big gap between them. So I have a bunch of tags from Artymaze that that's from her tickets for collaging or whatever. And I printed them on cardstock too, so that they're a little more sturdy. And I'm going to put a little ink on the back, because you might see them through the crack, and I don't want the white to be showing. So instead of using one, you know, like in the middle, we're going to turn them this way and use a couple of them on here. So that's really the only way that it's different, and you know, we're using tickets instead of the pieces of scrap or whatever, but it's essentially the exact same thing, because you're just going to glue these on as your little hinges. Okay, so I'm going to use tacky glue, or not tacky glue, art glitter glue. Just put a little bit this side. I think I'll glue that down, and then I'll glue the other one down, because I want to make sure that I get up to that edge there, you know, so that it's in the right spot for opening and closing. I'm going to turn it over, then I can see a little bit better if I got it at the right spot. And I'm sure, you know, other people have made hinge journals this way. I don't think this is anything different, but I've never done them this way. So I'm leaving my black line in there so that I can have a little room for opening and closing, so they're not rubbing right up against each other. And you could put all kinds of things. You could put, you know, junk mail in there. I mean, you could do lots of variations on how you want to do it. I'm even going to punch those little holes and stuff. I just think that's kind of fun. Since they're there, might as well. And that punch, I don't know what size it is. These never say, which makes it very confusing, but it's not the average normal size. You guys probably know. I'm just horrible at that kind of stuff. Same thing with directions. I never know the names of streets or anything, but I'm a landmark person, so I remember. So I just look at the size of that and go, yeah, that looks right. My son and I were talking about that yesterday, how his brain works compared to mine, and we're just very different. Like, he just thinks very differently, which obviously he's a different person, but it's just funny. Sometimes I think he should think things like I do. Like when we're making digis, it's like, well, don't you see that that's how that needs to be? And he's like, no, not really. It's just funny, the difference. Bless you again. He's gonna have a sneeze. We're gonna have a sneezy video. Haven't had one in a while. So this one I'm gonna put down here lower. And you could put them anywhere. You know, you could even do 3 of them if you just like the look of it. I just think this is fun. I had a blast making the last one. I need to list it in my shop. Hopefully I will get that done by the time this video is up. So let me take these. Yeah, that works nice. Yep. And I'm going to ink around these, which I should have done before, but I didn't. So I'm just going to keep using that, you know, one of those black lines like that to give me my spacing. And everything is different size, so you don't have to worry about, you know, matching it up perfectly at the bottom, or you're going to have some pieces that are longer, shorter. And this is a little bit different because we're not putting 2, you know, it's not one folded in half to make 2 pages or whatever. You're just getting 1 page per piece. Okay. Oh, and you know what I should do is put like a piece of fabric or something up there. Let's get some scrap stuff. Different colors and whatever. I'm not even gonna stress about that. Piece of this on there. If it'll tear that way. And I think I'll just staple them on so that we don't have to do any sewing. So if you are new, you don't have a sewing machine, or you don't sew or whatever, then this would be kind of a fun one because you won't feel like you have to sew if you don't want to. Of course, you could, you know, go around each of these tags, sew around each one, and that's just going to give you a different look. I'm going to make this just a little bit thinner. And this is the great part about junk journals, because it doesn't have to be all perfect. It can be, you know, haphazard and just have fun with it. And this you definitely don't need a lot of stuff for. So like I said, if you're just starting, you can just have a printout of whatever paper you like, cut it into tags, and a little bit of fabric. Because you could make these scraps if you didn't, you know, have tickets or whatever. Okay, and I'm just going to staple these. And that's the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. Ink that a little bit. Just so it looks a little more. Probably should have tea-dyed it, but it's fine. It was a last-minute decision. Okay, so that's that one, and then we'll do another piece, like our alteration tag. And or this is a time card. I'm going to, you know, kind of line them up at the bottom, just so that you could like set it on a shelf or something like that. So I guess you do need to think about that if you want, but they're going to be all different heights and stuff sticking out the top. So let's get that as close to there as possible. Or let's ink it first. Sorry, steps. I mean, it's nice and grungy already, but just the edges tend to stay not so much. Even though the coffee comes all the way out there, it's still that edge stays without much color. And then these can be all decorated up. And I know a lot of people right now are making lots of tags because of Tracy Fox and Artymaze are doing that challenge. I don't know a whole ton about it because I don't have Facebook or anything like that. But anyway, I just know that lots of people are making tags. So this would be a great use of your tags that you make for the challenge. Oh, I want to do these again. These are just cool how there's these tears in them. And when they're, you know, they must rip them or whatever to say that it's used. Okay. Fold it in half. You could use real tickets too if you had a bunch of old, you know, antique ones or whatever, you know, just old ones. I just love these because I can just print them again. I don't have to stress about, oh, I don't want to use those. That's always my dilemma. Okay, so I'm going to kind of come up to this top part of this corner of this tag to get where I want to put that down. I'm going to make sure I got it on here good. Straight. Okay. I'll have to line it up again. That's the only problem when you move it. Let's just scooch it in just a little bit over here. Whoa, help if you keep the glue on what it's supposed to be on. Okay. I need a used, or not a used, but a dry wipe to wipe these off. I mean, I do use them for wiping stuff off, but they're not used in any other way. Okay, I'm going to fold another one in half. This one doesn't have any holes or tears or anything. And I'm just grabbing whatever. I mean, you could be selective and decide which tickets you want to use, but I'm just grabbing basically the next one on the pile. And I guess it wouldn't matter. You could do them upside down or however you feel like doing it. I think I'm going to keep it right side up. But let me see. I don't want, it's kind of wanting to splay out right at the bottom, so I'm going to try to straighten it up a little. And get it right up on the edge there. Okay. So there's another one, and that is working nicely. So it's pretty straight. Alright, now we have another one of these tags. So this will probably be a multi-part deal. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making this Digi. I mean, most of the time I spent kind of quite a while painting the teacups for the tea pages. But I did do obviously some tea staining and other things, so it was a fun one. I mean, we didn't decorate it a ton, but I kind of wanted it to just be that simple, you know, you can decorate them how you want to do it. And I liked having these tags like this because then you can use them for other things. You don't just have to have them for your tea journal or whatever. Because they're pretty easy to use for whatever. You could probably put these hinges the other way too, but I just like doing them this way. Like, you know, you could go around the back sort of thing, but it's essentially going to turn out basically the same either way. It's starting to get thicker here, so this might be a little trickier to get them glued on. So maybe I'll glue this side first since it's higher up, and then we can bring the other side up a little. I didn't even think about that. Oops, I did that backwards. Turn it over, it doesn't matter. We're going to kind of go again to the corner of the tag at the height the tag was at before I accidentally scooched it out of the way. I'm just going to get right on that edge. It's a little bit crooked, I think. Okay, and then we're going to get some glue on here. So yeah, I think these are great kind of first journal things to make, because you don't need all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, you could put just loads of all different things, but if you had a little junk mail and a few tags, then you can make a fun little journal. Maybe some scrapbook paper or whatever. Okay, for this one, because of the way this is going on here, I'm going to actually lay it at the corner here and come up the side and lay it down on there. Just because it's getting taller on one side, so if I keep laying it flat, you know, I could end up having it be crooked. So I just lined it up with the bottom of this, and then hopefully that will make it so it's not crooked. I like these because they're all different colors, these tickets. This one's got a hole right in the middle. So again, I'm going to glue this side over here first. And I'll put links to these Digis. And you could figure out exactly where you're putting the hinges. I don't mind staggering them a little bit because I think it makes it so it's not just super thick in one spot. Okay, and I'm going to try to just line up the corner down here again as best I can and get it as straight as possible. Okay, let's make sure these aren't sticking together like I did with the last one. That was great. Okay, there's that. And then this one, I want this hole on that outside because I'm going to add something to it. So I want to make sure that it's going out that way. Tag or ticket. Oh my goodness, Amy. Sorry, couldn't think what I was doing for a minute there. Do I want to ink it? Do I want to? I really like these 2-ticket oddments and the ticket set that Artymaze has. It just has a lot of really neat pieces to use. Okay. do this side again first. And you know, it might actually have been smarter to decorate everything first and then do the hinges, because then, you know, because now I'm going to have these hinges in the way of what I want to decorate. But I don't know, for the sake of our doing a video, I didn't want to decorate all the tags first. But if you were going to do it, like I said, if you're doing that challenge with all the different tags, then you might want to do that. So I'm just going to line it up at the bottom here again, just like I did the last one. Yeah, if you're doing that challenge, then you could just use tags that you have already decorated. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know a bunch about that challenge, so you'd have to go check with those ladies, either Tracy Fox or Artymaze, to see more information on that. I've just been seeing lots of tags, so. And of course then you won't have them to put in pockets, but which is probably the whole idea, is to make up a bunch so you have them, but you know, whatever. But you could do something like this with Carry the Crafters tags too. They would be really cool with the lace and everything. So this one here. And a few pieces of other ephemera. I got these in Happy Mail, these, so I'm not sure where you could get them, but if you searched for like library cards or printer library cards or something like that on Etsy, you might be able to find them somewhere. Okay, so I think you guys get the idea. So I'm going to keep putting these together because I'm sure you're getting bored out of your mind, and then I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. So as I finished this one tag, I realized that I'm going to put this on next, and I wanted to do this with you guys. So I'll just do this, and then we'll be done for today, and we'll finish tomorrow. But anyway, I did add a little fabric on these little tabs. And then I have this one that has the window in it, and I cut the side off and made a thumb hole there because we'll have a journaling card that comes in and out of there instead of back here, because once you attach this, it's so close, it's really hard to get anything out of there. So what we're going to do first is put some of our transparency paper in the little window. So I just have to decide which one of these I want in the window. I want that one or the other one. If I can find the other one. Maybe we'll just use that one. And these are from Medieval Mirage. It's her thank you giveaway that she's doing on her channel for her subscribers. So if you're a subscriber, go over to Medieval Mirage's channel and you can get a free Digi from her. She's, you know, thanking everyone, so it's very nice of her. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Because it's beautiful with those roses and everything. I think I want the one with the tea bags and stuff. So I think I'll just cut a piece that's roughly going to fit, because it doesn't have to be perfect on the edges or anything like that, because it's just going to go in that little oval. And I cut that oval out using my Creative Memories oval cutter, the old school cutting system I have. But I know there's other things now that, you know, you can cut circles or whatever out of stuff, because I don't think you can get those anymore. Had it forever. So now it's just figuring out where I want this. Yeah, I think that'll work. So now I'm just going to kind of peek inside here and glue it down as best I can. Luckily it's open on both sides, so that should make it a little bit easier. You can see that. I didn't notice that till I glued it down, of course. I'm not going to be able to take any of that off, because I don't really want to see that, but and I'm just kind of going in there and trying to get, hopefully, wherever it might need it. Kind of go on the edges of the vellum so that they don't get caught up on the journaling card or tag that you put in. Hopefully I didn't get it all over that. Do this one a little bit better. I can be able to get in there a whole lot. It's all warped weird too from being coffee dyed, of course. Dry wipes are the only way to go, I'm telling you. Okay, so now you'll be able to see whatever we put in there. So that's kind of fun. Right, and then I also realized that it's going to be attached like this. So this is like its hinge, but that's not very attractive. So I am using a piece of Medieval Mirage that's from her free kit that she's giving. And I had to cut this down, as you can see right here, so that it'll fit from the top of the tag to the bottom of the tag, because I don't want it hanging over the tag. So that's why I wanted to do this one with you guys, so you can see how. And there may, of course, be better ways to do this. This is just how I'm doing it. I just want to make sure I get it up to the edge there. Snip that a little bit weird right there. It's kind of tricky with the tag there. And I'm gluing that completely flush, you know, I don't want. But then this will go here as a little tuck spot. I'm trying to decide if I want to come all the way to the top of the tag. Maybe that's what I'll do. That might make a little more sense and it'll look a little bit better. This. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue on the tag, and then I'll put that over it. Just go here, down, all the way down, kind of over to here. I think I'd want the part with more of the roses. Oh, I didn't ink this. Amy, brain. I've got little strings all stuck to my anchor. It's looking good, looking good. Another thing I want to do is punch a little hole in it, or you know, thumb spot. So I need to figure out. Brain. Okay, we'll go about right here, I think. Oops, that's not the right one. Not the corner rounder, because that won't do anything. I mean, she's already got it nicely inked around there anyway, but just to get, I have to put a little more glue here because it's already dry. I want to get that right up against the edge of the tag here. All the logistics, right? Of this craziness that we do. Hold that down. I don't want to cut anything else, just that. Oops. And then put a little ink up there. And then we'll have a little tuck spot, and that looks a little bit better instead of the, you know, having that flap kind of weirdly there. Just a little bit. All right, so now there's a little tuck, and then we'll end up like decorating this or something and closing this back part so that just this front opens. And you'll flip it that way and you'll have that. And I think we'll add our little vellum pocket. I think I do want that near the front. On the tag or on a Oh my goodness. I'm gonna move that, but never mind. Let's see. We could add a little bit of one of these. I really did that crooked, gee many. I just don't really want that pink. I'm just gonna kind of do, I'm just thinking something behind there would be kind of fun. The direction that one's going. Bless you. I just didn't like the direction of one of those cups, sorry. It was the wrong direction for that spot. That'll work. It doesn't have to be perfect on there. Let's do some inking on this. like to be able to see part of the, either, you know, if you're doing either a time card, alteration tag, what's the other one? Flashcards. I like to see part of it. I don't like to cover up the whole thing. And that's just a personal preference. It's not anything wrong with covering up the whole thing. I just like it better when I can see part of it. And I'm going to cover this pretty much all over the back because I don't want to, it's too thin to try to like tuck stuff in behind it, I think. So I'm just going to cover it up. Leave a little space at the edges so when you put stuff in you don't tear your bag. Like, and I mean right along here and along here, if you don't go all the way up to the edge. Okay. We can put one of our little things in here, like maybe this one fit. Tea makes everything better. And then I'll probably add a little something to the top of that, and I may back it with something as well. But anyway, I'm going to continue on adding my hinges here and here, and finishing putting those tags and things together. And then tomorrow we'll do some more of the decorating and all that. I just have a few things. I have this one and this one left, and then but that's essentially what it's gonna look like if I do it right. Like that. So I think that'll be fun. A fun little journal. All right, well, I will let you guys go. I hope you have an awesome day. The Spillin Tea is in my Etsy shop if you're interested, and we will chat again soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.